Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om.
Sorry about the delay. Let's start with the prayers as others will join. I think we are a little late today. Okay, let me know when you can see the screen. It's okay? All right, okay. Start. Om. 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 Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chinmayam Vyapya Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So Hari Om and welcome back everyone. We are in the last chapter as we know, and we are probably on our second last class as well. So let's go ahead right into the chapter and see what we have today. Please confirm if you can see the screen. You can, okay. So last week we had looked at Valmiki Ramayanam and the verses from there. We had also started the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and we went through the 3 verses. Today we will go to the 4th one from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, I think there is no way to forward, maybe. Let me see. Oh yeah, there is, okay.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachhati tadaham bhaktyupahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha.
You can hear the sound, right?
यः मे पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं भक्त्या प्रयच्छति प्रयतात्मनः भक्त्या उपहृतं तत् अहम् अश्नामि.
So it's good to have full house. I know last week some of you missed it, but I hope you managed to go through the chapter so that you know the method we are following. So the first one is a verse form, prose form. The verse form, and then the second one in Sanskrit is the prose form to help us understand it in a sentence form, basically, and then we look at the translation after that. So this is also from the Bhagavad Gita, and as you can see, it's from chapter number 9, 26. It's also one of the very famous verse when we refer to what can we offer or what does God want from us. And in a very simple form, it says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. So let's look at the prose order so that it helps us understand the sentence form better. Yaha me patram pushpam phalam toyam bhaktya prayachati prayatatmanaha bhaktya upahritam tat aham ashnami. And we can also read the English portion and then try and make sense. So then this is still our study portion. So you can take that route, but normally you would have to then figure out from the prose at least. So whoever offers me with devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, water, that I accept, offered by the pure-minded with devotion. So let's try and understand the words now. Yaha me means whoever, to me. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. So patram is a leaf. Phalam is a fruit. Then toyam is, pushpam is a flower and phalam is a fruit. And then toyam is water or jalam. So whoever offers me these four things alone, even just that, I accept. So aham ashnami, I accept. And what are they even saying? Prayachati prayatatmanaha. So prayachati means even offering. It's an action of offering. And prayatatmanaha, with the true atma, or with the true devotion, in other words, that somebody who offers me that I accept with open heart. So bhaktya upahritam tat aham ashnami. So bhaktya upahritam. So bhaktya is the devotee who offers this with pure mind. Upahritam tata aham ashnami. So I accept that with love, basically. So that's what Shri Krishna tells Arjuna in this case. So we will check one more from the Bhagavad Gita before we move forward. Let me know if you can hear the sound, because I had to switch off.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं सर्वपापेभ्यः त्वा मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
So this one is from the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 18, and verse number 66. So probably this is, I think, the main mantra. If we look at it, that's the only thing we need to do, isn't it? Just hand over ourselves to Lord. And I think that is the solution of everything. So let's look at this from a Sanskrit angle. Sarva dharman parityajya. So sarva means all. Dharman. So I'm now looking at the verse form, because sometimes we look at prose, sometimes we look at verse, so that we get both the understanding how to break the words as well. So sarva dharman parityajya. Sarva means all. Dharman is the dharmas. Parityajya means leave them, or basically abandon them in this case. The literal translation, sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. So there is a sandhi there, mam ekam, but it's mam ekam sharanam vraja. So mam ekam, which means in me alone, sharanam vraja. So take refuge in me alone. So that's that portion. Then aham tva means basically it says I and then yours. So which we have to fill in between. So what is I and your? So sarva papebhyo mokshishyami. So aham mokshishyami. That's what will go together. We know from the Sanskrit verbs and the chapters that we have done, right? So aham patami. We've seen those kind of sentence. So in this case, aham mokshishyami. So that's the sentence together. So I will liberate. Now, who will I liberate? Tva sarva papebhyo. So I will liberate you from all the paps, or from all the sins, in other words. So that is the sentence there. And then ma shuchaha. So grieve not. So do not be sad, in other words. So that is the sentence here from the English perspective. So that's Bhagavad Gita. We've looked at the 2 verses for today. We will now go into the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is now also going into Shri Krishna's other form, probably the younger form. And let's look at some of those bits as well. Is the sound back? Let me know.
निशीथे तम उद्भूते जायमाने जनार्दने देवक्यां देवरूपिण्यां विष्णु सर्वगुहाशयः आविरासीद्यथा प्राच्या दिशीन्दुरिव पुष्कलः
सर्वगुहाशयः विष्णुः निशीथे तम उद्भूते जायमाने जनार्दने देवक्यां देवरूपिण्यां यथा प्राच्यां दिशि पुष्कलः इन्दुः इव आविरासीत्.
So this portion is talking about Shri Krishna's birth time, and we are going to look at this beautiful verse. Would anyone like to attempt or give it a shot? Would be nice if you want to try. We can all help each other. If you want to read and try and explain. Any volunteer? Otherwise, I'll carry on. Okay, no problem. Let me carry on. Later on, once you feel that it's a verse you want to attempt, let me know. So let's look at the first portion. Let's go straight to the prose order. Sarva guhashayaha Vishnuhu nishite tamaha udbhute jayamane janardane devakyam devarupiniam yatha pracyam dishi pushkalaha induhu eva avirasit. So let's look at little portion at a time. From the English portion, if we see, in the pitch darkness of midnight, Mahavishnu, the dweller of all hearts, was born of the divinely beautiful Devaki, like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon. So let's try and understand small portions at a time. Sarva guhashayaha Vishnu nishite tamaha udbhute. So let's go up to there. That's a proper sentence. So we are talking about Vishnu here. We all understood from that little portion, right? That there's only one name, noun here. So Vishnuhu. Nishite means at night. So Nishite, we have looked at te, like Rame, the form that's there. So at night, basically. Then tamaha udbhute. So udbhute is basically okay. That's a second line, but basically it arose, or it utpan. Basically, it comes from that word utpan. So it took birth, in other words. Tamaha udbute. Now, sarva guhashayaha Vishnuhu. So we are talking about, how do we explain? Sarva means all, of all hearts. So Sarva, the dweller of all hearts. Sarva guhashayaha Vishnuhu Nishite Tama Udbute. So the dweller of all hearts was born at night. So we've gone up to there. Then Janardane Devakyam. So we are now talking about beautiful, so divinely beautiful. That's why Janardane Devakyam Devarupinyam. So divinely beautiful Devaki. So who did he take birth from? Devaki. And then Yatha Prachyam Dishi Pushkalaha Indu Eva Avirasit. So this is a bit difficult, so we'll go a little slow. Yatha Prachyam Dishi. So Prachyam Dishi is basically the eastern horizon. So we are talking about the direction, yeah? So the eastern horizon. Pushkalaha Induhu. So Pushkalaha is full or complete, like full moon. And Induhu is moon. So Pushkalaha Induhu. So full moon. And Eva is like. So like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon. Eva Avirasit. So we are talking about, beautifully explained. It's difficult because it's a long sentence, but hopefully you are able to follow. Is everyone okay? Yeah? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Some of them will be easy, some will be little difficult. So let's see the next one.
तव विक्रीडितं कृष्ण नृणां परममङ्गलं कर्णपीयूषमास्वाद्य त्यजत्यन्यस्पृहां जनः
हे कृष्ण, नृणां परममङ्गलं कर्णपीयूषं तव विक्रीडितं जनः आस्वाद्य अन्यस्पृहां त्यजति.
So here now we are describing Krishna Leelas and how it had its impact on people. So let's look at the prose order. Hey Krishna, O Krishna, Nrunaha Parama Mangalam Karna Piyusham Tava Vikriditam Janaha Aswadya Anya Spruham Tyajati. So let's go into a small portion first. So Nrunam Parama Mangalam. So Parama Mangalam, there are two words in there. So it's not just auspicious, but extremely auspicious, in other words. So I know the prose, or the English translation doesn't talk about extremely there, but it's basically holy and auspicious, in other words. So Nrunam Parama Mangalam. So it's holy and auspicious. Karna Piyusham. So Karna Piyusham is also two words. Karna is ear. Yeah, I can see you're already nodding at your ear. So perfect. Karna Piyusham, which means nectar to the ear. Janaha means people. Aswadya. Anya Spruha Tyajati. So Aswadya, which means after tasting that. Tasting what? So we are talking about Krishna's beautiful Vikriditam, so which means his sports. What kind of sports? Holy and auspicious. So that kind of sports of Krishna. So those who have tasted that, in other words, those who have witnessed that or seen that, Anya Spruham Tyajati. Anya Spruham means other desires. Anya Spruham, and other desires. Tyajati. So they leave all their other desires, which means they feel totally satisfied once they have just seen that portion of Krishna when he performs his Leela. So that's how it's been described to us. Is everyone comfortable? Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the third one.
सर्ववेदान्तसारं हि श्रीभागवतमिष्यते तद्रसामृततृप्तस्य नान्यत्र स्याद्रति क्वचित्.
श्री भागवतं सर्ववेदान्तसारं हि इष्यते तत् रसामृततृप्तस्य अन्यत्र क्वचित् रतिः न स्यात्.
So let's look at the prose order, but also just, I hope you're mentally able to follow the sandhis. So for one of the examples, we can also break the sandhis so that in case if you're not following, you start observing those as well. So let's look at the verse and prose together. So Sarva Vedanta Saram. How many words do you see in there? So I know it's not been broken down there, but yeah, I can see 4. Lavinaji, yeah, open up your mic.
Yeah, I think it's 3, Sarva, Vedanta, and Saram.
Okay, perfect. Sarva Vedanta Saram. So 3 of them. He Shri Bhagavatam Mishyate. So how many do we see there? Yeah. Anyone who's ready, feel free to. Yeah, go ahead.
Number 2 bit.
2
2
yeah.
words.
Yeah, which ones are those 2?
Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate.
Yeah, so Shri Bhagavat and Ishyate. Okay, perfect. Then Tad Samrita Truptasya. Anyone would like to just break? Yeah, go ahead.
Tat Rasamrutam Truptasya. 3 words.
Perfect. So there is Tat, which has become Tad Samrita. So Tat, then Rasa Amrut. So there are also 2 more there. Rasa Amrut and Truptasya. So those are the 4 different words there. Then Nanyatra. So there are also 2. Yeah. So Na Anyatra. So those are 2 in there. Then Syad Ratihi Kvachit. Those are on their own. So now we will see some of them in prose order at different places, by the way. So this particular verse, we can go into detail so that you can see all those things. So if we see the prose order, Shri Bhagavatam is picked up from, you can see those 2 words are split there, but it's been put together there. So Shri Bhagavatam is from the portion. Are you able to follow my mouse when I move around? You can, yeah? Okay, so Shri Bhagavatam and then Sarva Vedanta Saram. So that has been picked up from here. And then he has been brought there at the end there. Yeah. And then Ishyate. So Ishyate from the first line has been taken there. That completes 1 sentence. Then the second one, Tat, which is the first word in the verse form. So Tat Rasamrut Truptasya. They've not split it further, but there are multiple words as we just saw. Tat Rasamrut Truptasya Anyatra. So it's only Anyatra. The Na portion has been taken somewhere else, which we will see. Kvachit Ratihi Na Syat. So Na has been taken there from Anyatra. That split has gone in there. So this is just for us to observe, but we will see this kind of movement in multiple other verses as well. So let's now focus on the translation bit. So Shri Bhagavatam Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Ishyate. Shri Bhagavata or this Bhagavata, being the essence of all Vedanta. Sarva Vedanta Sara. So essence of all Vedanta. He Ishyate. So it being the essence of all Vedanta. Tat Rasamrut Truptasya. Tat means of that. Rasamrut Truptasya. So somebody who has tasted it, or somebody who has taken the Rasa Amrut of that and who has become satisfied, in other words, Truptasya. Anyatra, yeah. Anyatra Kvachit Ratihi Na Syat, which means Anyatra means any other. Ratihi Na Syat, which means he or she will not be interested in any other text. So Ratihi, which means interest. Na Syat, which they will not enjoy, or they will not want any other text after going into Sri Bhagavat. So, and that is the essence of all Vedanta, because if we've gone through Bhagavat, we know that it covers quite a lot, and it's taken even in a story form, by the way. Some of it is multiple skandhas in there. So those who've gone through it, they would know. So this is now just describing the situation once somebody has read or gone through that. So let's go to the next one as well.
न खलु गोपिकानन्दनो भवान् अखिलदेहिनाम् अन्तरात्मदृक् विघ्नसार्थितो विश्वगुप्तये सख उदेवान् सात्वतां कुले
सख भवान् न खलु गोपिकानन्दनः अखिलदेहिनाम् अन्तरात्मदृक् विघ्नसार्थितः भवान् विश्वगुप्तये सात्वतां कुले उदेयिवान्.
So this is a beautiful verse describing who Shri Krishna is and who he is not. So let's look at the prose order. Sakha Bhavan, Sakha, O friend. Bhavan na khalu gopika nandanaha. So Bhavan, we know that it's used for you, when it's a respected form of you. The other form is, sometimes we even say Tvam, isn't it? It's like in Hindi or Gujarati, tum and aap, we go a little bit higher. Yeah. So in this case, Bhavan na khalu means not only, or not merely in this case. So not only Gopika Nandanaha. So you are not only the son of Gopika, but who are you now? We are seeing the second portion. So Akhila Dehinam Antaratmatak Vikhina Sarthitaha. Bhavan again, which means you. So now we are talking about who he is. So witness of the inner sense of all embodied beings. Let's try and understand that. Akhila Dehinam. So all embodied beings. Antaratmak. So basically the inner essence. Vikhina Sarthita. So you are the witness Sarthita. You are a Sarthi, or a witness, in other words, of the inner essence of all embodied beings. And then this last sentence is Vishwa Guptaye Satvatam Kule Udeivan. So it's now talking about where has he taken birth and why. So Vishwa Guptaye. So basically Vishwa, so world, and Guptaye, so to keep the world safe. Satvatam Kule. So it's a kul of Yadu dynasty, so the clan of Yadus. Udeivan, so you have taken birth, or you have risen in the clan of Yadus for the protection of the world, or to keep the world safe. Yeah. So that's about Sri Krishna. Can
I have
go
a
to the-
question.
Yeah, and I can also see Perry's hand. So yeah, go ahead, Lavina ji, and then followed
So
by
it
Perry.
says in the English transliteration, prayed by Brahma. So where's
Yes.
that in?
Yeah, so we don't see a direct word, but let me confirm. Akhila Dehinam Antaratmatak Vikhan Sarthitaha Bhavan Vishwaguptaye. Vishwaguptaye is also, by the way, Vishwagupta is also probably a term used for Brahma as well. So that could be another portion of it. Then we don't have directly protection of the world, but there's no other Vishwa there. So yeah, there could be that. And I think Perry also had his hand
Yeah,
up.
Pooja, if you recall in the previous year,
Yes, yes.
I think some of us, you had given us assignments to hunt these down and look them up for the word translations, word by word. So I
Yes.
have a few of these. And if you
Okay.
let me screen share, I'll just put this one up because if you recall, we had the same queries, I think, a year or two ago about
Sure,
these
sure.
words.
Go ahead. Yeah, you are already a co-host, so you'll be able to
I'll
share.
just share this. It's the same verse from the same thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we had the same queries. And if you look down here in this word for word translation, Vishwa means of the universe and Guptaya is for the protection. So for the protection of the universe.
Yeah,
And Lord Brahma is Vikanasa.
that is the word used for Lord Brahma then.
Yes,
Okay.
Vikanasa. And then interestingly, although this translation says the clan of the Yadus, the progenitor clan of the Yadus was the Satvatas. So Satvatam refers to that clan of the Yadus.
Okay, so
So
directly
it's
from
here
there.
in this little screen share,
Okay, okay.
the word by word, and this is from. If I remember, we had hunted this down somewhere. I think it's from the ISKCON Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, okay.
Because there
Yes, I do remember.
they give four things. They give the Devanagari,
Yeah.
the IST transliteration, the translation, and then the word by word, word meanings like this.
Okay, okay.
So,
Perfect. So I think this makes sense actually, because that Vikhana probably is the
Vikanasa
other
is by
term
Lord
used for
Brahma.
Brahma. So then the
Vishwa is
protection of
universe
the
and Guptaya is for the
universe.
protection.
Yeah, that's possible then.
And
Okay.
Satvatam is of that clan of the Satvatas, which is the Yadav clan.
Yadav Kul. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Please share this on the group as well, so that we
Sure.
can.
I think I don't have all of them, but the ones which Ratnabai and I and you had hunted down, I have them. Whatever I
Okay.
have, I will stick it on the group because
Yeah,
the word
some of
by
them-
word helps.
Yeah, I remember, because some of them we were not 100% clear, and we
Yeah,
had to
there.
refer.
You know, the thing with Sanskritam is that depending on context and the historicity of the scripture, they use some very different words.
That's correct. Yeah, but this
Okay,
makes
so I will send whatever I have. I'll send it on.
okay. Perfect. Thanks. That's helpful. Okay, so that's number 4. We'll still go to the next one. And let's see what that is. Is the sound on?
निरपेक्षं मुनिं शान्तं निर्वैरं समदर्शनम् अनुव्रजाम्यहं नित्यं पूयेयेत्यङ्घ्रिरेणुभिः
अहम् अङ्घ्रिरेणुभिः पूयेये इति चिन्तयन् निरपेक्षं निर्वैरं समदर्शनं शान्तं मुनिं नित्यम् अनुव्रजामि.
So here we are talking about the quality of the sage. So let's go into detail. Would anyone like to try?
Okay, madam. I will try, madam.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nirapeksham munim. Shantam nirvairam samadarshanam. Their looks are all are in one. Anuvrajamyaham nityam uye yetva anga anga drirenubhihi. There is a sandhi, madam.
Yeah.
Uye yet.
Sorry. Yeah. So puyayet anga grinenu bihi. So those are the couple of words there. Yeah. So let's try the prose order. It will be easier to translate.
Angri Renubihi. Renubihi means lump sum quality, I think so. Anu.
Maybe I can help a little bit. So if we start with aham and anuvrajami. Yeah, so aham anuvrajami, which is I follow. So always follow. Anuvrajami, not just vrajami. So I always follow. So who do I always follow? Ang drinenu vihi huyayet. Then that portion in the bracket, it's not in the verse. That's why it says iti chintayan nirapeksham nirvairam samdarshanam shantam. So those are the four qualities given. Nirapeksham. So the one who has no apeksha, nirapeksha. Nirvairam, the one who does not have any enmity. Then samadarshanam, the one who sees everybody equally, sama, which means saman darshanam, equally. And then shantam. So we are talking about four different qualities here. So who is always tranquil, in other words, and who has enmity to none. Those are the two we've covered. And basically somebody who is always nir vairam and nir apeksham. So the one who does not desire anything, and those are all the English. I think there are only three in English I'm seeing. Follow the sage who desires nothing. So that is nirapeksham, who is always tranquil. So shantam, the one who does not have enmity. So nirvairam, and then the samadarshanam. So that is not listed there, but the one who sees everyone equally, basically, that is samadarshanam. So that kind of munim, so which is the sage, nityam anuvrajami. So I always follow. And then why does he follow? So that he may get purified by the dust of his feet, in other words. So anga drinenu buhi bihi huyayet. So so that he or she can get purified by the dust of his feet. Anga drinenu bihi is anga is body, the part of his body. So in this case, feet, and dust from there. So huyayet is to get purified. So that is the meaning now, word by word, for this particular verse. Yeah. So with that, we will go to the next one, and we are now going into Manusmriti. It's another beautiful book as well.
न जातु कामः कामानाम् उपभोगेन शाम्यति हविषा कृष्णवर्त्मेव भूय एवाभिवर्धते
कामः कामानाम् उपभोगेन न जातु शाम्यति हविषा कृष्णवर्तुम इव भूय एव अभिवर्धते.
That is the first verse of Manusmriti. Just like Bhagavad Gita is known as the manual of living or how to live your life, Manusmriti is another such manual. It talks about how we should perform our duties as well and how we should conduct ourselves in this world. So it talks about those kind of things. And there are multiple other things. It goes deeper into people, kind of character we should have, kind of behavior that forms the personalities, and multiple other things. It goes into different areas as well. So the first one that we have here is kamaha kamanam upabhogena na jatu shamyati. So kamaha is desire, kamanam upabhogena. So basically enjoyment of the objects. So desires cannot be satisfied. So na jatu shamyati. So it can never be satisfied. By what? So by the enjoyment of its object. So kamanam upabhogena. So by the enjoyment of the objects. So the second portion, havisha krishna vartama eva bhuya eva abhivartate. So abhivartate is becomes bigger or flares up in this case. Havisha krishna vartama eva bhuya. So havisha, just like in the Havan Kund, krishna vartamaham. So if we put ghee into that, if the Havan Kund is fed with ghee, it only becomes more, or it becomes flared up. So that's how the desires get flared up if they are basically, if we try and satisfy them and try and satisfy them with the enjoyment of the objects. So that's what it's described to us. We'll go into the second one.
श्रुत्वा स्पृष्ट्वा च दृष्ट्वा च भुक्त्वा घ्रात्वा च यो नरः न हृष्यति ग्लायति वा सविज्ञेयो जितेन्द्रियः.
यः नरः श्रुत्वा स्पृष्ट्वा दृष्ट्वा भुक्त्वा घ्रात्वा न हृष्यति ग्लायति वा सः जितेन्द्रियः विज्ञेयः.
So here we are talking about a person who has conquered everything basically, and this is also very similar to what we see even in Bhagavad Gita, the Sthita Prajna Lakshana portion of the Bhagavad Gita. So you will see a couple of similarities between this as well. Let's try and understand this. Yaha naraha means that man, or the one who in this case. Shrutva. So we know Shrutva is about hearing, and we are using the pratyaya, tva pratyaya. So Shrutva, having heard. So we are changing it into having heard. Then Sprishtva, so having touched. Sparsha is to touch, right? So having touched. Drishtva, so having seen. Bhuktva, so having tasted. And Ghatva, so having smelt. So after going through all of this, the man or the person who doesn't na rashyati glayati. So there is no second na, but basically it applies to both. So na rashyati. So the one who does not become joyful. So doesn't become too joyful there. Or na glayati, which means doesn't even become sad. Now, why would somebody become joyful or sad? Means we are talking about the likes or dislikes, in other words here. Somebody after eating something Either it will make you very happy or it will make you very sad if you don't like the taste. But somebody who can still consume without being happy or without being sad, in other words. So we are talking about those deep qualities here. So who doesn't become joyful or sad, va saha jitendriya vigyayah. So that man, so saha, va saha jitendriya, basically the one who has conquered all his senses. So jita indriya, so jitendriya, vigneya, so is known as or is declared. Vigyaya, if you remember, we had looked at vignaya word in that chapter as well, to know. So in this case, we are saying is declared or is known as jitendriya. Yeah. So that is also a section from Manusmriti describing the characteristics. Let's go to number 3.
सर्वं परवशं दुःखं सर्वमात्मवशं सुखम् एतद्विद्यात् समासेन लक्षणं सुखदुःखयोः.
सर्वं परवशं दुःखं सर्वं आत्मवशं सुखम् एतत् सुखदुःखयोः लक्षणं समासेन विद्यात्.
Would anyone like to try? This seems to be a smaller and simpler one. Yeah, go ahead.
सर्वं परवशं दुःखं सर्वमात्मवशं सुखम् एतद् विद्यात् समासेन लक्षणं सुखदुःखयोः.
Yeah.
Joy and sorrow.
Okay, you want to go into the prose order? Or to explain or?
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Sarvam paravasham dukkham sarvam atmavasham sukham etat sukha dukkhayoho lakshanam samasena vidyat, to know.
Yeah. So in this case, we are saying sarvam paravasham dukkham. So the one who depends on others, paravasham. So the one who is in control of others, or paravasham. So or the one who depends on others, dukkham. So basically remains dukhi or remains sad. So in other words, sorrow is for the one who depends on external world. And then sarvam atmavasham sukham. So sarvam, so atmavasham sukham, atmavasham. So the one who depends on one's own self remains happy. So in other words, we are saying joy for the one who depends on one's own self. Etat sukha dukkhayoho lakshanam samasena vidyat. So vidyat is know. So know that this is the nature of joy and sorrow. So sukha dukkhayoho lakshanam. So nature of joy and sorrow. Basically, that's what happens. Even Gurudev, I think, has given one such quote on this. I'll try and find it. I don't know what it says. Yeah, don't put the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket. So in very simple words, same concept he has given it to us for us to remember. So which means don't let other things make you happy or sad, in other words, especially sad, so that we don't leave our happiness in someone's pocket. In other words, Okay, so let's go to the next one. We can take one more.
धर्म एव हतो हन्ति धर्मो रक्षति रक्षितः तस्मात् धर्मो न हन्तव्यो मानो धर्मो हतो वधीत्
हतः धर्मः एव हन्ति रक्षितः धर्मः रक्षति तस्मात् धर्मः न हन्तव्यः हतः धर्मः नः मा अवधीत्.
So here we are talking about the dharma and the one who destroys the dharma. So let's look at the prose order. Hataha dharmaha eva hanti. So the dharma destroys its destroyer. So the one who destroys the dharma gets also destroyed. Hataha dharmaha, the one who does hataha, which means destroys the dharma, eva hanti. So that person also gets destroyed. Rakshitaha dharmaha rakshati. So the one who protects the dharma, the one who rakshitaha, dharma also protects him. So dharma rakshati. So the one who protects the dharma, protects its protector, in other words. And tasmat dharmaha na hantavya. Tasmat means therefore, dharmaha na hantavya. So do not destroy the dharmaha, or do not destroy the virtues, in other words. Virtues should not be destroyed. Then hataha dharmaha. So the one, the dharma that has been already destroyed, hataha dharmaha na ma avadit. So let not such dharma which has been destroyed destroy us. So let that kind of dharma which has already been destroyed, let it not destroy us further. So that's what we are talking about here. Yeah. So we'll stop here. I think it's time. So we will go into the last one for Manusmriti, and then go into beautiful messages from the Upanishad and Raghuvamshaha. So those are the last few that we will be looking at. I hope you're enjoying, and this is one of the practical stuff where you're looking at the verses which you'll be doing in future, I believe. So yeah, it's fun going through it together. But then yeah, you will be looking at start with simple sentences, simple stories, and then go into verses eventually as you take your next steps. Yeah. So let me just project the prayers. Are you able to see? Yeah, okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Patrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukhabhag Bhavet. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om, and thank you everyone. We will see you all next
Is there
week.
next week, madam?
Sorry?
Is there next week also class?
Yes. There is a class next week. Yeah.
Yes, Upanishads. And
Yes, we'll go into Upanishad and Raghuvamshaha.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Tomorrow is Gita
Thank you,
Jayanti.
Hari Om.
Yes, tomorrow is Gita Jayanti, and we will all see you. I know some of you has also talked about reading the verse. So you'll be reading, but those who are not reading can still join us and supports us all. Yeah. So we will
Thank
see you all
you.
tomorrow at 5 p.m. Kenya time.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Have a good evening, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Pooja,
इंडिया में
Yes,
कौन सा टाइम है
since
पूजा
since
दीदी?
you're on the Zoom forum, I can